Good evening, everyone. This scene is set at Bianca's Haven, as Isabel's been staying there for the past few nights, wanting to stay in better contact with Bianca. Uh, she doesn't want to let her out of her sight too much. She also needs to be with somebody. She doesn't want to be alone with everything that's happened. She needs the companionship. But right now, she finds herself alone as Bianca has stepped out, attempting to go to work, trying to feel normal again, she supposes. So she's just waiting for Bianca to come back.
Bianca's gone for a couple hours, and she manages to get her two clients in, on no small part thanks to her ghoul Miranda, who's been very helpful, especially at work. She arrives home, hands in her pockets, as Miranda opens the door for her.
Isabel greets Bianca, very happy to see her. Did you have a good night?
I suppose it was all right. It was work, so has its own bit of happiness no matter what.
Of course. How did it go?
Miranda made herself quite useful. Made sure we got everything switched around.
Oh, did Miranda actually come in with her, or did she just open the door and leave?
She came in with her. She's ushered herself off to the kitchen while we talk.
Okay. Isabel smiles and, well, that's good. I'm glad that everything worked out.
So am I. Missing a whole week of work would just be frustrating.
Yes, I can imagine, but it would be. I've missed more work lately than I should have, probably, but I just can't. I don't know. I'm very preoccupied with a lot of things.
What's on your mind, my dear? As she makes her way over to the couch and sits down.
Oh, what's usually on my mind?
Existential crisis caused by global warming.
Close. But there are actually more pressing matters than that right now.
How I'm going to do my hair in the morning with one hand.
Well, of course there's that too, and of course I'm going to be doing your hair.
Bianca just grins. She pats with her left hand on the couch next to her.
Isabel sits down. It's just, you know, every night that goes by and there's no word or anything.
I know, my dear. Is there anything I can do to help?
Not unless you magically know where she is and we can go get her.
Somewhere in the Blade or south of there, in their territory.
Yes, well, we know that we can't go there by ourselves. We have to have support. We have to have more. We can't just. And her voice trails off as she thinks about what happened to May.
Yes, we can't. We have to keep our heads about ourselves. Think about it very carefully. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time for making quick decisions, or I should say, long decisions, but nor can we afford quick decisions.
I think it's more we can't afford to make irrational decisions. Quick decisions are beneficial. You have to be able to think on your feet and make the best decision you can in the moment. But just going off half cocked because you can, that irrational decisions, those aren't the ones we should be making.
Quite, and I appreciate your correction of the proper word. Couldn't think of it, obviously, myself.
Isabel just kind of blushes. Yeah. And everything that Catherine said to me is still kind of weighing on me.
What did Catherine say to you? You never really got into it. You just said stuff that bothered you.
She kind of shifts around uncomfortably. Um, she's she's very Christian.
You can see Bianca's body kind of tense and straighten up some.
I really don't want to go into all of what she said because I know what you've been through, and I'm not about to try and trigger you.
I appreciate that. But if it'll help you to talk about it, then please do talk about it, my dear. If need be, I can bring Miranda out and let you talk to her about it.
No, no, I'll be all right. The the funny thing is that it's like she really believes in what she's saying. Like she, I could just I don't know if that bothers me more or less. I think it would bother me more if she was just saying it to be mean, but she honestly thought that she was trying to help me.
I'm sorry to hear that, my dear. Unfortunately, religious zealots tend to be far more vocal than they should.
Well, I know that she's very old and set in her ways, so centuries of indoctrination isn't going to go away.
Well, in that case, I recommend keeping your distance as much as possible. Try to avoid conversating with her if you have to be in the same vicinity.
Oh, I will. I'll probably, you know, go to some stuff just to be polite, but I won't be engaging her in any sort of conversation, at least not like that. I will definitely keep the topic off of any sort of religion or sexual orientation or anything like that. Not bringing that up. Definitely not.
No, it's my good girl, and she strokes your leg affectionately.
I was wanting to ask Masha what her opinion was on Catherine, but uh, when I was at Club Gemini and heard about Gums going missing, it just felt almost petty to ask.
Gums has gone missing.
Yeah, did I not tell you that?
I think it may have slipped your mind.
Possibly. I'm sorry. Yes, he was out looking for Kara and he's missing.
Did they say when he was taken?
Um, would have been 2 nights before I went to Club Gemini, so I think maybe that same night that we were out scouting.
That means somebody likely followed him. I wonder if it was that same strange man who killed May.
That's very possible. Very possible. I mean,
He, he can move about undetected, and we've seen evidence of that.
he just seemed to appear out of nowhere and disappear just as fast.
Yes, he did.
How do we even try and beat someone like that?
We have to go in, catch him by surprise, before they have a chance to disappear.
Carry a torch?
I was thinking more like a flower.
A flower?
No, not a flower, my dear. Flour, like for bacon.
Oh, flower. Oh, sorry.
It looked kind of funny throwing handfuls of flour out, though. If you're around kind, they'll think you're crazy until somebody appears in the flour.
Yeah, that would be a definite masquerade breach. I don't know that we should be carried around a bag of flour.
Oh, we'd be having to carry around a lot of bags of it. Do you know how quickly you'll go through a bag of flour walking down the street if you're covering everything around you?
It'll look like it snowed. Maybe we should wait a couple of months. It'll just blend right in.
Yes, but the person that still appears randomly won't.
Oh, I know. And we don't have a couple of months anyway. Oh, when I was at Club Gemini and Masha walked in and Annabelle ran up to her and greeted her, and I couldn't help but feel a little jealous.
I'm sorry, my dear. And she puts her hand on your head and caresses your hair softly.
But then I feel bad for feeling jealous because at least I know that my sire's still out there somewhere and you're never going to get yours back.
No, no, I'm not. I always knew it was a risk. I just never thought it'd actually happen.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry
For what, my dear?
for being like this over Kara when you're never going to get to see May again.
It's alright, my dear. You have the living to fret over. The dead can't be helped anymore.
I know, I don't know. I guess maybe in some way I feel like that I'm undermining your grief or something.
Oh, my dear, if I ever felt that way, I would certainly tell you. I'm not one to keep my mouth quiet.
Isabel smiles. I suppose. Yeah, you're right. Right. Well, what do you suggest we do now? I mean, what's next? I'm I know that we can't go around making irrational decisions, but I don't like just waiting around either.
Well, I should be seeing Oboro again this weekend, probably Sunday. I'll talk to her about setting up a party to go out.
Well, I'm on really good terms with the Tremere Primogen. Do you think maybe I should see if he'll talk to me about it?
Couldn't hurt, my dear. The more people we have on our side, the better chance of survival we all have.
Right, that's true. I mean, and it would be a good idea to get as many of us that have been fighting in this war together as possible. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're already, thinking about mounting an attack, but I just feel like I'm on the outside looking in right now. I guess maybe I'm feeling a little left out, especially when it comes to trying to find Kara.
I can relate, my dear. I fully understand.
I mean, I think that's kind of why we went off on our own anyway, because no one was telling us anything or giving us any information.
Well, then we'll endeavor to make sure we are fording that fording that river. Why am I having such a strain on words tonight? I think it's ford. Yes.
Right. Well, I'll see if I can talk to him. I'll probably try and speak with Masha as well. Maybe I can get both of them together and just talk to them both at once and see how things are looking. Because I feel like I need to do something, and sitting around here feeling jealous over other people and their sires isn't doing me any good.
It's not doing any of us any good, my dear.
I know. Well, I guess for the rest of tonight we can just pretend like it's not a war zone out there, right?
Bianca pulls her stump of a hand out, or her stump where her hand used to be out. Just rests it in her lap. Right. Just pretend like everything's normal.
Well, I don't mean normal, just we don't have to sit here wallowing all night long. You and I can have some fun.
I suppose that's always an option.
And Isabel just kind of nestles herself against Bianca, enjoying being in her company and still thinking about everything going on and deciding that when she wakes the next night, she's going to contact both Ramsey and Masha and see what they have to say about the situation.
Bianca cuddles with Isabel. Eventually, Miranda comes out and sits on the floor in front of them, placing her head in their laps as she contemplates her next meeting with Oboro.
And that is where this scene comes to an end.